They hear this from Yoshi. Lol. Anyway, hey all, this is Xenoxis, and this is Xenoxis Show for the 26th of June 2017. Yes, that's right. Gonna bring this down a bit, 14 maybe that's good. Yeah, that's better, I think. I actually pulled down the, or oops, we actually pulled down the, what do you call it, the, actually increased the volume a bit to pull down the sunscreen there a bit, you know. So yeah, water bottle there in the background. I'm having my monster, I think just left a bit. So I haven't recorded in quite a while. I didn't record last week at all. I don't think, or was the recording that I did, was that before last week? I think it must have been before last week. It must have been the week before. It probably was on a Thursday, maybe, or no, on a Friday. I think it was on 15th, the last time I recorded. It's the 26th now. But anyway, there have been several opportunities that I've had to record because there have been bad weather several days. And the thing is, like, I cannot record, you know, if it gets too hot and stuff that, you know, because, you know, that's just how things are, you know. But so there's quite a lot of things to talk about. First off, I pretty much now got it planned out, in my head at least, the order I want to do the Legion comes with Xenoxis, the order I want to do the different classes in and stuff that, because yesterday I got my monk up to 110. The monk is going to be the first class I'm going to cover in the series. Now, at first, as you might recall, the way I had it planned at first was when I'm covering a class first, for example, then I'm like in the first 3 episodes, then like if a class has 3 specs, then in the first 3 episodes I'm going to cover that class, you know, so that if you begin with monk, you would do like Brewmaster, Windwalker, and what's it called? Mistweaver something. Mistweaver monk, I think it is, the healing one. Which is pretty interesting. But the thing I thought about is not to do that, because that doesn't, like, there are certain specs that I want to have more game time with before I do video on certain specs, and for variety's sakes it's better to like cover like the different classes specs, you know, rather than do all specs from one class right away, you know, and then instead like spread it out and stuff that, you know, like. But I think it's also that, for example, like I will do like a list that I will probably post in the comment section of this video on the very first part, I think. I don't think I will do it on the other parts, so you will have to check out this part's comment section to see, because I will use my updates and such that I have written here. The updates and such I will write into the order I kind of want to do the classes in. But one thing is, I will only name episode 1. The thing is, I won't name the other episode, because the thing is, like, I won't cover all the classes before I do some of the other videos, because, you know, there are more things I want to cover than just the classes and the specs and stuff that, like, I want to cover, you know, like, you know, what faction to choose, whether to choose Horde or Alliance, what race to choose and stuff that, and, you know, what server to choose and things like that, you know, like, I want to cover a lot of different subjects, you know. But the question is, like, when should I weave in those videos? Like, how many classes should I cover first before I cover something else, like choosing a, you know, choosing a server, whatever, and what order should I do it in? Should I do just the server thing as early as possible? You know, because the thing is, some people don't really care much about the server they choose. For a lot of people, it's just like, what server do my friends play on, you know. But if you're like, if you're a solo play, if you don't have any friends currently playing the game, or if you cannot convince someone to play the game, you know, then things can be a bit trickier when it comes to choosing a server. Oh, there's so much cable there. There's so much cable, you know, yeah. So that is something, you know. And oh yeah, I want to actually talk about my sleeping pattern actually. So it's been going really great, you know. Been pretty impressed with it so far, you know. Like the thing was, there was during I think 2 or 3 days when I actually went to sleep at bad hours. Like I went to sleep like late and stuff. That it was maybe for 2 or 3 days. It was kind of during midsummer time or just before midsummer started, and then a bit throughout the 2 days during midsummer kind of stuff that. And then after that, I decided to be up for like during the last time. I was like during the last day, which I count, I was up for like 25 hours, but that made me able to go to bed at 18:00 or 19:00, I think it was, and then allowed me to the next day then go up at like 6 in the morning. Well, it was really good because that made me turn around, you know, like, and you know, like yesterday, or I guess if we count today because it was after midnight, like I went to bed at like 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning is considerably better than what I used to have, but I still want to get back down to going to bed like at around midnight or so, or just slightly earlier than midnight maybe. I will see what works best, you know. I will see, you know. So that's something, you know. And we also, the reason why I waited until today specifically is because there's been quite a lot of news with certain things that have been going on. Like if you follow my Twitter, for example, you might know that I recently got my 4th legendary finally. You know, 4th legendary, yeah. You know, took what feels like forever. I mean, like, yes, I do take breaks from the games, but I feel like sometimes it just takes way too long between legendaries. Yes, I don't hardly run mythics at all, even just regular mythics, even though it's easy, but sometimes it's just like, it's so annoying to set up a group for it, and like, why normal mythics can't be queued for is weird. Like, I mean, I definitely think that something they should have done when they changed the Mythic Plus system is Mythic Plus up to a certain level should be queuable. Because the thing is, like, if you think about it, like, the lower Mythic Pluses really is the finish, you know, and stuff like that. So, like, if you're doing regular Mythics or Mythic Plus up to a certain level, then it should be queuable. Because, you know, like a lot of people, like, even, like, some of the higher, like, Mythic Pluses, like, you don't need to have, like, a guild run. Like, a lot of people pug things, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, after, you know, like, pugging, like, stuff like normal Emerald Nightmare, sure, you know, like, everyone was overgeared for it, you know. So the first time I did, like, Emerald Nightmare normal mode, for example, which is, you know, a raid where you, like, one-shot everything. The second time I tried to do Emerald Nightmare, it didn't go well at all. We only get up to scenarios, and, like, people were performing really horrible DPS, and I was just, like, shocked, you know, like, and, like, you see the people, you saw the item level of people, and people had really high item level, and they're like, they don't hardly do any DPS, like, you know. Like, because the reason why scenarios didn't go down is because the lack of DPS. Like, what the fuck? The lack of DPS. like facepalm. But that was, of course, before the Broken Owls even got into it, you know, and stuff that, you know, like, I would probably try and do will I try and do normal Trial of Valor? I mean, Trial of Valor is just, I think the Helia fight can be annoying. But that's just because it takes time to do. It isn't hard mechanically. It just takes a while to do, you know. I'd rather actually pug Nighthold, probably. I'd probably try and pug Tomasa Gears, because usually the people that pug Tomasa Gears early on are people who are serious about it. That's not people who, you know, wants to try and get carried. You know, that's the main problem, you know, like, when you're trying to set up a group, you know, like, trying to figure out, okay, is this just someone who wants to use the free ride? Because the people who are there, you know, who just expect to get carried, or the people who are there, you know, who are really bad, you know, and stuff that, and like, they hardly do any DPS, or they do really terrible bad healing, you know, or whatever, you know, whatever the role is, or the tanking, you know, and then, like, that's the show that they're used out attacking Preston ability. Preston ability. You know, yes, there are tanks that do that, like auto attack, auto attack, auto attack, auto attack, auto attack, Preston ability point. You know, like it's just like okay. You know, because the thing is like, you know, when if you take the Maid's Tower, which is not a good example of a tanking challenge. Like a lot of people complain about it because OMG, the tanking challenge is an actual DPS check. Yes, but that's also because tanking nowadays, and I mean, I kind of think it was true in Warlords as well a bit, but tanking nowadays from the good tanks also do a lot of damage. That's something that people should expect from a good gear tank, should be able to deal good damage. And that's good, you know, like that makes it more fun, you know, like, and a lot of people are pissed off like, herder, the tanks in PvP can pwn everyone because blistered bad design, lol. And then it's like, seriously, you know, like, I think what a lot of people are mad about is people that get killed in World PvP by tanks, because in World PvP it's broken, but World PvP has always meant to be broken. World PvP is never balanced, because in World PvP your legendaries work, you know, and you know that allows, you know, certain classes can like completely one-shot someone, like herder legendaries, her. You know, like, yeah, I mean, like if you have the absorb legendaries, it's pretty ridiculous, you know, like, and stuff like that. But anyway, the most recent legendary that I got, the 4th one, I didn't even say what it was, and it was the Soul of the HIIGHLOOOUUUUUL. So I can pick a legendary because I was thinking I was getting pretty close to a legendary, consider how long it had taken last time. So I'd like put myself off on playing the game during the time when it was like hot weather. And then when I began playing again, I'd played like Diablo 3 for a bit and stuff like that. And then I began playing WoW again, and I got it in a MSR cache. I actually got it in the, oh, not a MSR cache, but I got it in when you hand in the broken short thing, the Legion Fall War Supplies, I think it's called. It was from one of those boxes where I got the Soul of the HIIGHLOOOUUUUL, which I don't know if it's considered best in slot for the Paladin. I mean, it is pretty fucking good, you know, it is pretty fucking good. I haven't even gemmed mine yet, you know, because I keep sending money over to alts and stuff there to buy some transmog pieces of the auction house, you know. So that's something that's going on, you know, and so that, like, you know, the thing is, the Soul of the HIIGHLOOOUUUL, the talents it gives is pretty fucking great, you know, not gonna lie, you know, like, as prot, you know, I like using Holy Shield as prot, you know. Yes, I know how good Blessed Hammer is, but Holy Shield is something I know using as a prot Paladin, you know, and now Holy Shield is free, so I get to pick up Blessed Hammer, you know, yeah. You know, like, the thing that makes Holy Shield good is the fact that it allows you to block spells. And the thing is, you can get pretty high block chance, although I believe block chance have diminishing returns. At least it used to have back in the day. It used to have diminishing returns, so you never wanted to have insanely high block. Like, you either want to have like high block, but also pretty high parry, or pretty high like dodge or whatever, so that then you would be like, instead of just blocking all the time, it would be like block, dodge, you know, like if you can want to have the percentage close to one another, but that's just not possible. But yeah, anyway, that has been part 1 of the Xenoxis Show for the 26th of June 2017. I'll be right back with part